Hey everyone, Dinosaur here with a new day one deck profile for Shimmering Skies. So these are my thoughts, kind of theorizing what my Ruby Sapphire deck is going to look like in the new set. Of course, this is very subjective to changes. You always got to see how the cards actually do in the meta rather than just speculating how they're going to do. And this is just pure speculation here. But let's get right to it. So we're going to start with our characters. Now, I'm playing a 3 of Grammatala, and now I did think about playing the new Robin Hood, the one that looks at the top and plays a 6 cost action, for free. Or is it a 6 cost action? I should double check that actually. Either way, I did think of playing that Robin Hood. He's just uninkable, and unfortunately, that's just kind of where this deck is sitting. We have a lot of uninkable in this deck, and I think Grandma is just better for filtering. There's really not that many actions in this deck. Well, there's 15. I guess that is a quarter of the deck, but it's still, you know, only 12 of them are playable off that Robin, and they're not all amazing off that Robin either. Um, so Grammatala it is for now, and we'll see how it goes. 4 Hiram is, still the bread and butter for the red-blue deck. The 4 Maui, I think Maui has been feeling really bad lately. So we're gonna see where he goes, but obviously you kind of just have to play him at 4. He's inkable. He hits for 6. He takes out locations. That's just really what he is right now, and um, he's still a very important piece of the deck. 2 Tremaine, 3 Medusa. I think that's pretty standard. I think Tremaine is a very good card right now. People are really, really starting to realize how good Ward just is. So still really helps you in the mirror match. Helps you with getting rid of anything with Ward, like the aerial and the blue steel matchups. If they're still going to be playing that, we don't know. I think they will be because items are really good right now. And then, of course, Medusa is just Medusa. She takes out basically everything that you need to. This set's going to get a little bit rougher for Medusa, but we'll see what happens. One of the cool new cards is this new Mufasa. This card is awesome. It's the first instance of ink returning to the hand. I think just being able to untap all of your ink is just ridiculously good in a control deck. I mean, think of any other game where you have a resource like ink, like mana and magic, or like any other kind of something like that. Oh my gosh, just readying it all, and then this card is broken. It's going to be one of the coolest new cards in the set, in my opinion. We're only playing him at 2 because he is an 8-drop uninkable, but we can rush him up there turn 5 sometimes with this deck. So that's just huge. I don't think you'd want to play him on turn 5, but go down to 3 ink. Yeah, but still really, really good. Tamatoa at 4 as usual. Maleficent Dragon at 4 as usual, but she might be coming down for some of the other cards. We don't know yet, or at least I don't. I think Maleficent's still a very, very good card, being inkable, and she doesn't get hit by Medusa. She really just gets Zeused, and that's about it. I guess she gets, Tremained and stuff if it's the only character on your field, but still, very, very good card. World's Greatest Criminal Mind takes her out too, but that's not a card that sees a lot of play currently. We'll see what happens. I think the Lemon Lime discard deck might start playing that a bit more with the new set. Hideaway, I think this is the best card in the set. This card is so versatile. I think a lot of people are talking about it right now, and it deserves it. Being an uncommon is kind of crazy, but you know what? Everybody has access to it. This card is essentially get rid of, stop somebody's Hiram play at the cost of giving them an extra ink. It isn't that great, but it is really good for removing dimes in the mirror match, in the blue steel matchup, in any of the other blue matchups. It's really good for just removing an item, and it's a lot better for using it as a second one jump ahead. You can just play your Popsicle or your whatever item. I have the Ruby Chromicon, or I think it's Chromicon. It might be Chromicon. And Vitalosphere in this deck. Just put those in your ink. You know, one jump those. You know, and that way you don't know what you're putting in your ink with one jump. With this, you do. So it's just a huge knowledge thing. And being inkable is ridiculous. This card should not be inkable, but it is, and it's going to define a lot of decks, in my opinion. One jump at 4 is still very, very important. Just it's self-explanatory at this point. It's been at 4 since at 1, so we'll be doing that. Vision of the Future is a very interesting card. It is super develop your brain, but it costs 2, and it is inkable. I think develop your brain is going to be better in a lot of cases. However, in this deck specifically with the Ruby Chromicon and Vitalosphere and Popsicle, it doesn't make sense to have, you know, more one drops. We're already at 10. So Vision of the Future might be really good. It's especially good in the late game, which is why we're playing it at 2. 3 Brawl is self-explanatory. Now that Bucky's gone, it's not going to be as important, but it's still going to be a very good card. You do get rid of, you know, your opponent's Hirams. You know, you kill the rat, as everybody says. So we keep it in. Very, very good card. Inkable at 3, always. You know, it's kind of obvious. I think some people are still going to be running this at 4, and I don't like it at 4 anymore. I think 3 is probably where it should be. I think this next meta is going to be a little too fast for you to want to control the early game. You want to do your things and then control the late game. Which sounds weird saying that the meta might be too fast. What I mean by that is you really want to get to that be prepared. You really want to get to your big characters. Because we're going to be seeing a lot of aggro. So this deck might fall off a little bit. We don't know. I think be prepared might go up to 4 again in this set because it's going to be this deck that can turn 5 be prepared and just completely shut your opponent out. Almost like it did in set 3. 2, how far I'll go? I considered playing this at 3. I think 2 is probably where it's going to want to sit. This would be one of those cards that off of Robin Hood would have been insane, but we're just putting so many uninkables in a deck, and we really can't afford to keep putting uninkables in a deck. Because if every card was, you know, uninkable, we wouldn't play the game, and if every card was inkable, the game would be too powerful. So, you know, that's why they're set like that. 3 be prepared, that might go up to 4. This card it's be prepared. You know, you've been hit by it, you've hit people with it. You know, that's how it goes. Ruby Chromicon. This card is really cool. It's kind of one of the reasons that I'm leaving Maui in at 4. Because if people are playing Queen's Castle, you have this on the board. Just play your Maui and hit for 7 because you can. It doesn't cost you any more ink other than you're playing it at 1. And worst case scenario, you can Hiram it away. It's another item. It doesn't draw you a card, but it does help you take out some of those pesky things. You know, for example, it's you know, Medusa needs to hit something for 5. You know, make her hit for 5. You know, just funny things. It means your Maleficent Dragon can attack Tamatoa and take him out. I guess Vitalosphere also does that, but this one does it without the extra ink. Vitalosphere is also kind of self-explanatory at this point. It's just a good card in general. Giving anything the +2, so just like with the Ruby Chromicon, like Maui now takes out castles, and all of a sudden your dragon and, you know, Madame Medusa and Lady Tremaine, they all have rush, and even your Grammatala has rush and hits for 5, which is just really, really cool in my opinion. And it's an item that can get hit off of Hiram. It can be put in your Inkwell with Hideaway. You know, that's they're just really good cards, I think. And focusing on them is going to be kind of the key of this deck, I think. 4 Popsicles and Fishbones and 2 Lucky Dime. This is all super self-explanatory and super standard. I think Lucky Dime is going to be so good in this set, especially with that Mufasa. Uh, the Mufasa doesn't get Medusa. The Mufasa doesn't get hit with and then along came Zeus. It doesn't get hit with World's Greatest Criminal Mind. This Mufasa is just so hard to remove. You need an ice block to get rid of it. So he's going to be one of your new dime targets that just really, really, really helps that. And all in all, these really are just my first thoughts on the deck, thinking about where it's going. Um, there's definitely a lot of different ways to build it. I think blue-red aggro is going to be a serious, serious deck. But you never know. I think right now we're still in like the same decks are still kind of the same decks, and they just get buffed. But I don't know. I think we're gonna see some cool new ones, and you'll see some of those in the next video. So I've been Danosaur. Catch you later.